6 months. That's how long Jason has been gone. 183 days since I came home to an empty house and a life turned inside out. No note, no confrontation, no dramatic exit. He just disappeared like smoke, taking every trace of himself with him. And the worst part? Everyone. My family, his family, our friends, even strangers on the internet, thinks I got exactly what I deserved. My name is Lauren, and I'm losing my mind trying to find a man who clearly never wants to be found. It started with such a small thing. I'd left my laptop open on the kitchen counter while I ran to answer the door. A delivery, nothing important. When I came back, Jason was standing there, staring at the screen. His face was blank, which should have been my first warning. Jason's face was never blank. He was the most expressive person I knew, every emotion written clearly across his features. "What's wrong?" I asked, setting the package down. He didn't answer, just closed the laptop quietly and walked upstairs. I heard drawers opening, the closet door sliding. By the time I made it up there, he had a suitcase on the bed, methodically folding clothes. "Jason, what are you doing?" Still no answer. He moved with purpose, taking only essentials. Work clothes, toiletries, his grandfather's watch, nothing we'd bought together, nothing that carried memories of us. "Will you please talk to me?" I was getting scared now. "What did you see?" He paused then, just for a moment, looked at me with eyes I didn't recognize, empty, distant, like I was a stranger on the street. "Everything," he said quietly. Then went back to packing. My stomach dropped as I realized what he meant. The messages. Months of messages between me and Alex, my coworker. Explicit messages, photos, plans for our next meeting. All there in my email, carelessly left open for anyone to see. "Jason, I can explain." "No." One word, firm, but not angry. "No explanations, no fights, no drama. I'm done. You can't just leave. Watch me." And I did. Watched him zip the suitcase, grab his keys, walk past me like I was furniture. I followed him downstairs, begging, crying, making every promise I could think of. He didn't respond to any of it, just loaded his car and drove away. That was June 15th, a Tuesday. I thought he'd come back once he cooled off. Men always came back, didn't they? They yelled, they stormed out, they needed space. Then they returned for the inevitable confrontation. The tears, the accusations, the bargaining, maybe counseling, maybe conditions for staying together. That was how these things worked. But Jason didn't follow the script. I called him hundreds of times that first week. Every call went straight to voicemail. His inbox filled up. I texted novels of apologies, explanations, pleas. The messages showed delivered but never read. I drove to his work. They said he'd taken a leave of absence. I went to his brother's house. No one answered. His parents' place. His mother looked at me through the window and closed the curtains. By week 2, panic set in. This wasn't normal. People didn't just vanish because of an affair. They fought, they hurt, they processed. They didn't simply erase themselves from your life like they never existed. I tried everything. Posted on his Facebook. He'd blocked me. Instagram, Twitter, even LinkedIn. Blocked everywhere. Created fake accounts. Somehow still blocked, like he had a sixth sense for my digital presence. I emailed his work address. It bounced back, account deactivated. Our mutual friends were no help. They'd all chosen sides, and it wasn't mine. "Have you heard from Jason?" I asked Madison, who I'd considered my best friend. "Yes," she said simply. "Is he okay?" "Where is he?" "He's fine, and he doesn't want you to know where he is." "Madison, please, I made a mistake, but this is insane. He can't just disappear." "Apparently he can," she said. And honestly, Lauren, after what you did, I don't blame him. What I did? I had an affair. People have affairs all the time. They don't just... "You had an affair with his cousin's husband," Madison interrupted, "at their wedding reception." while Jason was giving the best man speech. Hearing it said out loud like that made it sound so much worse than how I'd justified it in my head. Alex and I had been flirting for months. The wedding was just where things finally happened. And yes, it was his cousin Emma's new husband, but their marriage was already rocky. Everyone could see that. It wasn't like that. Wasn't it? Madison's voice was cold. Because Emma found out when she saw the messages on your laptop too. The ones where you described in detail what you did in the courtroom while she was having her first dance. She's filing for divorce, by the way. 3 months of marriage, ruined. So yeah, Lauren, Jason vanished. Can you blame him? She hung up. I stared at my phone, processing this new information. Emma had seen the messages too? But how? Oh no. I'd been at their house that morning using their computer to print directions. I must have forgotten to log out of my email. Jason must have been showing Emma something on the laptop when they found... The full weight of what I'd done started to sink in. Not just an affair with family, at a family event, documented in vivid detail. The humiliation Jason must have felt. The betrayal not just of me cheating, but of who I'd chosen and when. I tried to fix things with Emma first, thinking maybe if I could repair that damage, Jason might talk to me. But Emma had blocked me too. Her entire family had closed ranks. Alex, of course, was dealing with his own fallout and wanted nothing to do with me. This was just fun, he'd texted before blocking me too. Not worth destroying my life over. By month 2, I was unraveling. Jason had been surgical in his disappearance. Our joint bank accounts had been properly divided. He'd taken exactly half, not a penny more. The house was in my name, a gift from my parents, so he had no claim. But he'd removed every trace of himself. His clothes, his books, his gaming setup, the stupid movie posters I'd always complained about. Even photos. He'd taken them all, leaving empty frames and blank spaces on the walls. I hired a private investigator. Felt like a stalker doing it, but I was desperate. The PI took my money, did some digging, came back with nothing. Your husband doesn't want to be found, he said. Changed his phone number, moved out of state, paid cash for everything. Only thing I can confirm is he filed for divorce in Nevada. Quick, clean, no-fault state. Papers should arrive soon. They did. Delivered by courier on a random Wednesday. Simple dissolution, no demands, no accusations. Just a request to end our 5-year marriage as efficiently as possible. His signature was already there. A P.O. box for correspondence. No way to track him. I refused to sign for weeks, thinking it was the only leverage I had. If he wanted a divorce, he'd have to face me. But my lawyer explained that wasn't how it worked. He can get the divorce without you, she said. It'll just take longer. And frankly, fighting it makes you look worse. Sign the papers, Lauren, let the man go. But I couldn't. Not without seeing him one more time. Not without making him understand that, yes, I'd made a terrible mistake, but we had 5 years together. A life. Plans. You don't just throw that away without at least a conversation. I started going to places I thought he might show up. His favorite coffee shop in Columbus, where we'd had our first date. The bookstore where he spent Saturday afternoons. The hiking trails he loved. Nothing. It was like he'd been erased from the world. Month 3, I cracked. Started posting on social media about our situation. Not the details. I wasn't that stupid. But vague posts about missing him, about mistakes and forgiveness, about second chances. I thought maybe if I could get enough sympathy, enough people on my side, someone would tell me where he was. It backfired spectacularly. Someone, I never found out who, posted the real story in the comments. The affair, the cousin's wedding, the graphic messages. Within hours, I was trending on Reddit. Woman cheats with groom at wedding, shocked when husband vanishes, became a viral sensation. The comments were brutal. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. This is the level of petty I aspire to. King just said nope and bounced. She really thought he'd stick around after that level of disrespect, delusion. Strangers from around the world weighed in on my marriage, my character, my appearance. They found my Instagram, my LinkedIn, everything. The messages ranged from calling me names to detailed descriptions of what they thought I deserved. I had to make everything private, but screenshots lived forever. My employer saw the posts. HR called me in for a meeting about maintaining professional standards and representing the company values. I wasn't fired, but I was definitely on thin ice. Alex had already been let go. Turned out he'd been using his company credit card for our hotel rooms. The worst part was the isolation. Friends who'd stood by me through other bad decisions drew the line here. My sister, who'd always defended me, just shook her head when I tried to explain. "You humiliated him," she said. "Not just by cheating, but by doing it with Emma's husband. At her wedding, while he was giving a speech about love and commitment. Do you understand how that must have felt? To find those messages describing what you were doing while he was up there talking about sanctity of marriage? I made a mistake. You made a choice. A cruel, selfish choice. And now you're facing the consequences. Jason doesn't owe you closure. He doesn't owe you anything. By month 4, I was seeing a therapist. Not because I wanted to, but because I was literally losing my mind. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't focus on anything but finding Jason. The therapist, Dr. Martinez, was the first person who didn't immediately judge me. "Tell me about the affair," she said. "Not the details, but why? What were you looking for?" I'd never really thought about it. Excitement, I guess. Jason was safe, predictable. Alex was dangerous. Dangerous how? He was married. Unavailable. It was thrilling, all the sneaking around. And the fact that he was married to Jason's cousin? I didn't plan that. It just happened. At their wedding. We'd been flirting for months. The wedding was just opportunity. Dr. Martinez made notes. How do you think Jason felt when he found out? Betrayed, hurt, angry. Those are all valid. What else? I thought about it. Really thought about it for the first time. Humiliated, like our whole relationship was a joke, like he was a fool for trusting me. And what do you think someone feeling those things might need? Space, I admitted quietly. Distance. Time to heal without the person who hurt them making it worse. So why are you trying so hard to find him? Because I need him to know I'm sorry. That it wasn't about him. That I love him. Do you? Or do you love the stability he represented? That question haunted me. Did I love Jason, or did I love the life we'd built? The steady paycheck, the nice house, the certainty of having someone who'd always be there. When I thought about what I missed, it was Sunday mornings in bed, his cooking, the way he handled my family drama, comfortable things, safe things. I don't know, I finally answered. Then perhaps his disappearance is a gift, she said. For both of you. Month 5 brought an unexpected development. My cousin ran into Jason's sister at a concert in Nashville. She mentioned he was doing well, had a new job, was seeing someone. That last part sent me spiraling. Seeing someone? Already? We weren't even officially divorced yet. How could he move on so fast? It had been 5 months. I'd destroyed my life for him, lost friends, became internet infamous, and he was dating? I redoubled my efforts to find him. Hired a different PI, one with fewer scruples. He found Jason in Oregon, working for a tech company, living in a small apartment. No social media presence, no listed phone number, but alive and apparently thriving. I booked a flight immediately. Showed up at his work, waited in the parking lot like a stalker. When he walked out, laughing with coworkers, my heart stopped. He looked good. Healthy, happy even. His hair was longer, he'd grown a beard, but it was unmistakably Jason. He saw me before I could approach. The laughter died on his face, replaced by that same blank expression from 6 months ago. He said something to his coworkers, who glanced my way and quickly dispersed. Then he walked to his car, a new one I didn't recognize, without acknowledging me. "Jason, wait!" He stopped but didn't turn around. "How did you find me?" "Does it matter?" "We need to talk." "No, we don't." 5 years, Jason. Don't I deserve—" He turned then, and the look in his eyes stopped me cold. Not anger, not hurt, just nothing. Like I was a problem to be solved, not a person he'd once loved. "Deserve? You deserve what you gave me, Lauren. Nothing. No explanation, no closure, no dramatic confrontation. Just absence." "That's not fair." "Fair?" He almost smiled. "Was it fair when you fucked Alex in the coat closet while I was telling 300 people how love conquers all? Was it fair reading messages about how boring I was in bed compared to him? Was it fair finding out from my cousin that my wife was why her marriage ended after 3 months? I never meant— I don't care what you meant. I care what you did, and what you did told me everything I needed to know about how much I mattered to you. You mattered. You still matter. Jason, please." "Stop." He held up a hand. "This is what you wanted, isn't it? Drama, excitement, passion? Well, I'm not giving it to you. I'm not going to yell or cry or fight for us. I'm just going to live my life without you in it." "What about forgiveness? Second chances?" "Forgiveness isn't about you. I'll forgive you eventually, for my own peace. But that doesn't mean I have to let you back in my life. Second chances are for people who make mistakes. You made choices, calculated, deliberate choices, for months." A woman approached then, pretty in an understated way. She touched Jason's arm gently, looked between us with concern. "Everything okay?" she asked. "Fine," Jason said, his voice softening for her. "Lauren was just leaving." Lauren. Not my ex-wife, or any explanation, just my name, like I was anyone. No one special. "This is why you won't talk to me?" I demanded. "Because of her?" "No," he said simply. "I won't talk to you because I have nothing to say." "Go home, Lauren. Sign the divorce papers. Move on. I have—" He got in his car with the woman, drove away without looking back. I stood in that parking lot in a strange city, finally understanding that it was really over. Not because he'd found someone else, but because he'd found peace without me. I flew home that night, signed the divorce papers the next morning. The filing was quick, uncontested. By month 6, now, I'm officially divorced, officially alone, officially the villain in a story that went viral, and then forgotten by everyone except me. Jason never came back online, never unblocked me, never gave me the confrontation I'd expected, the chance to explain or apologize or make promises. He just removed himself from my life as efficiently as he'd once planned our future together. My therapist says I'm grieving not just the relationship, but the narrative I'd created about what would happen. I thought there'd be drama, passion, a chance for redemption. Instead, I got silence. The opposite of love isn't hate. It's indifference. And Jason's complete indifference to my existence is driving me insane. "Why does his reaction bother you so much?" Dr. Martinez asked last week. "Because it's like I never mattered. Like 5 years meant nothing. Or perhaps it meant so much that the only way he could heal was to act as if you never existed. Sometimes the deepest cuts require the most distance. I see Alex sometimes, around town. We don't acknowledge each other. He's trying to save his marriage, I heard. Good luck with that. Emma still won't speak to me. Not that I blame her. The friends I lost haven't come back. The internet has moved on to other scandals. But I'm still here in this house full of empty picture frames, Googling how to find someone who doesn't want to be found at 3 a.m. Still checking my phone for messages that won't come. Still expecting Jason to eventually crack, to need closure the way I do. He won't. I know that now. Jason gave me exactly what I gave him. A unilateral decision to end things without input or consideration. He found out I cheated, and he vanished. And somehow that's worse than any fight we could have had. Because fighting would mean he still cared. Disappearing means he decided I wasn't worth the effort. Everyone thinks I deserve this. The isolation, the silence, the complete erasure from his life. They're probably right. I humiliated him in the worst possible way, at the worst possible time, with the worst possible person. I turned our marriage into a punchline and his family into collateral damage. But knowing you deserve something doesn't make it easier to bear. I'm losing my mind trying to understand how someone can surgically remove 5 years from their life without a backward glance. How they can resist the human need for answers, for resolution, for the last word. The answer is simple, though I hate it. He could walk away because I'd already left. Every time I met Alex, every lie I told, every moment I spent in another man's bed, I was leaving Jason. He just made it official. I started therapy thinking it would help me get him back, or at least get him to talk to me. Instead, I'm learning to live with the consequences of my choices, to sit with the discomfort of being the villain in my own story. To accept that not every ending comes with closure, and not every mistake earns forgiveness. Jason vanished because that was the kindest thing he could do. For both of us. Fighting would have been easier, but walking away was cleaner. He gave me what I'd been chasing with Alex, a life without him in it. The fact that I want him back now that he's gone is just another cosmic joke. I'm the woman who cheated at a family wedding with the groom. I'm the one who got exposed on Reddit and became a cautionary tale. I'm the ex-wife whose husband disappeared rather than deal with her betrayal. And I'm slowly accepting that this, the silence, the absence, the nothing, is exactly what I deserve. Everyone else figured that out 6 months ago. I'm just catching up.